Chapter 12, Part 3, Solids, Elasticity. Now, what's elasticity? Elasticity describes how much you can change the shape of an object when you apply a force, and how well it returns to its original shape when the force is removed. Example, let's hang a weight on a spring. Now the spring will stretch. If you add additional weights, the spring will stretch even more. If you remove the weights, the spring will return back to its original length and shape. So a material that returns to its original shape after it has been stretched or compressed is said to be elastic. So in this example, a spring is elastic. When you hit a football with your foot, or when the football hits a wall, it will change its shape. But once the ball leaves the wall, it will go back to its original shape. So a football also is elastic. When an archer shoots an arrow, he bends the bow, which springs back to its original shape when the arrow is released. So these are examples of elastic objects. Of course, not all materials return to their original shape when the force is applied and then removed. In this case, materials that do not go back to their original shape are called inelastic. For example, clay and dough are inelastic materials. Lead, that's also inelastic. Let's go back to the example of the spring. So when you hang a weight on a spring, the weight applies a force on the spring and it stretches it in direct proportion to the force. If you add more force, that's more weight, the spring will stretch even more. If you double the force, you will double the stretch. If you triple the force, you will triple the stretch, and so on. So let's answer a question here. Let's say we have a tree branch, which is elastic, like spring. Now, when a 20 kilogram load is hung from the end of the branch bends 10 centimeters down. Now, if a 40 kilogram load is hung from the same place, how much will the branch bend? Once you answer this, you could also answer the next question. What would you find if a 60 kilogram load were hung from the same place? Of course, we'll assume that none of these loads will break the branch. The answer is easy. The answer is the following. When a 20 kilogram load is hung, we know that the branch will bend 10 centimeters. So now, if we double the load, 20 to 40, what will happen? The branch will bend twice. So it will bend 20 centimeters. When the weight is 60 kilogram, the branch will bend 30 centimeters. Another question. If there's a force of 10 Newton stretches a spring 4 centimeters. So 10 Newton of force stretches a spring 4 centimeters. The question is now, how much stretch will happen if the applied force is 15 Newton? Can you answer this question? Well, you can answer it also easily using ratio and proportion. So 10 Newton will stretch the spring 4 centimeters. Now, if the force is 15, how much stretch will be? What is X? So 10 over 4 should equal 15 over x, and you can solve this equation to find x. X is just 15 multiplied by 4 divided by 10, and the answer is 6 centimeter. Or you can answer it in an easier way. You just think about 15. What is 15 Newton? 15 Newton is 10 Newton plus 5 Newton. Now, a 10 Newton force will stretch 4 centimeter. 5 Newton will stretch half of that, so 2. So now 15 Newton is 10 plus 5 Newton. So this force will stretch 4 centimeter plus 2 centimeter, which is 6 centimeter.